Hi y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. We are here today. We're going to do a yard craft, a spinner for the yard, and we're doing hashtag Homestead Crafts and Recipes, hosted by Heather at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms and Gail at Gail Southern Living. This is an open collaboration. I will try to put more details down in the description box below and the playlist. So y'all make sure you check out all the wonderful channels that have participated in this open collaboration. Let's get into the video. And we're going to do a little bit of yard art, garden art, or whatever you want to call it. It's a mold chaser, whirly-gig. You get the idea. And we're going to be using some plastic canvas. Now, I picked these up at Hobby Lobby, and I'm pretty sure they carry this at Walmart as well. These are the 7 mesh plastic canvas. I've got blue and I've got red here. These are 10.5 inches by 13.5 inches, or 26.7 centimeters by 34.3 centimeters. The sheets are 99 cents a piece, or you can buy a pack of 6 pieces of the white or clear for $2.99. One of the problems we have when we do gardens is we have critters that want to get in there and eat our stuff. But if you have something out there moving in your garden when the wind blows, it scares those animals. It can be you tying up CDs or pop pans. We've all seen people tie those plastic bags out in their garden on their fence post as well. Whatever you can find, but if you want something pretty and aesthetic, this might be an idea for you. You will need 2 full sheets. So you're going to need 2 full sheets, whatever colors you decide to use. You're going to need some pony beads. Now, pony beads are the larger size beads. They look like this, and you're going to need a barrel swivel. You're actually going to need 2 per spinners that you're making, and you're going to need a key ring of some sort, or you can do like I did and you just bend your wire and make sure that it's good and crimped so nobody gets hurt, because you're going to hang that spinner off of that, and that's going to be holding your spinner, and then you're going to have another spinner at the bottom to hang whatever ribbons or other pieces that you want to hang on the bottom of the spinner as a weight. So I picked out 2 colors of beads while I was at Hobby Lobby. 500 beads for $2.99. It's not bad. You get quite a few out of that. And we're going to show you what we're doing here. You're either going to need a 16 or an 18 gauge wire. These are 99 cents at Hobby Lobby, and it doesn't really matter what color they are. A good pair of scissors that you have labeled for plastic canvas only. Plastic canvas will destroy your scissors, so just be aware of that. And you're going to need a pair of flat nose or what they call needle nose pliers that has a cutter on it so that you can cut your wire and twist it. And you may need a pair of bigger pliers. It's just if you need it, you can have those on hand. So I'm going to show you what I've done here. I've already gone ahead and attached this to my little ring. When I string my wire, I'm going to make sure I string it through this and then twist it off. That way it'll be secure, and then I can go ahead and start beading on it and putting my plastic pieces on. So let's get all this out of the way for just a moment. And because this is white, I wanted to show you that out of each piece you're going to be able to get 3 sections. They're 29 inches, or 29 inches, 29 squares this way. So what I did was, when I got my first piece cut, I then went to the opposite end and cut that piece. And then I cut off all the little tabs that are sticking off on the middle piece, plus a row. And so, let me get the white one. So this would come off of this piece here, making it the 29 inches. And you can actually save this and use it for other projects. I don't waste if I don't have to. So you're also going to cut this into strips. So you're going to take one of these, and you're going to cut out strips that are 5 squares this way. So again, you would start at one end, cut that, flip it around, and cut. And the reason I do this is so that I know which direction I'm working this canvas, because once you get to a square, it's kind of hard to tell. But you can take a piece and just lay it over and make sure you're cutting along the edge of the line. Let me hold this up. So you want to make sure that you're cutting along that line right there. And then you're going to cut off all those little pieces, those little tabs sticking out, to cut your next one. And you will get 11 of these out of each section. So you get 33 of these out of one sheet. And I'm using 2 sheets. Most of the instructions that I saw said that they did at least 45 pieces. 55 was better. But I'm going to have 66 pieces out of 2 sheets. So I'm going to do it with what I have. Now you can choose to do it whatever width you want, whatever number of squares, but use an odd number. You want to use an odd number for this and an odd number for this. And the reason is you're going to go to the middle of this piece right here. You fold it in half and you'll find your middle, and you're going to put your wire through that middle piece. That's going to be the center of the spinner. And so that's why we use an odd number. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to keep one of these sheets because I have not cut all my little ones out. Grab my scissors. And I'm just going to show you very, very quickly what I'm talking about. So I've already got this started, but if I didn't, I would count over 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would cut right up against that line there. Can y'all see that? Right up against that line. So, and it goes rather quickly. But don't rush yourself. You want to take your time cutting. And so I've got my first one cut. Now you can see the little teeth on the edge. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do the same thing on this end. And you can use the piece that you just cut as a guide. And again, right along the edge of that line. That's going to give you a smoother edge. And as I go through this, I'm going to cut all these little tabs off. Until I get to the end. And now you're going to have one piece left that's going to be 4 squares and not the 5. And you can save that for your tails or for other projects. So these little pieces will go everywhere if you're not careful. And I've got a box actually I set on the floor to catch all these pieces. So I'm just going to quickly go through this and be right back. Alright, so when you're cutting this, you cut along the edge of that line, but you do not cut that line if you can help it, because that's going to be the side of your spinner. You want to kind of keep it nice looking. And we're at the last part of this sheet. I'm just getting the tabs off. I'm going to show you. We have 10 squares left, but you're going to use 5 of those. Dogs will be dogs. So it looks like I could get 2 out of this, but I can't, because I'm going to cut next to that line. And we'll get that one cut out. And you see the teeth on it. I've got to get the teeth off there. That's going to leave 4 squares. So you get 11 of the 5 squares, and you get 1 of the 4 squares. So you can see that this one is actually narrower than the other one. Let me get my mess cleaned up. I'll be right back. So in order to make my little ring, all I did was bend a piece of wire, like so. And then I'm going to wrap it, both pieces getting wrapped. And then we're going to make sure that this is in there tight and crimp it into the other piece of wire so it's not any sharp ends just sticking out. Kind of like so. And I've created a ring. So if you don't have any key rings, you don't have to worry about it. You can make it out of the wire. So that'll be for my next one. And then you're going to attach your spinner. This comes undone. It's kind of like a safety pin. See that? And then just drop your ring on there and close it. Well, I'm having trouble. I don't have much strength in that left hand, so get it on there. So now I can attach this to my wire. Now my wire is either 16 or 18 gauge, and like I said, it doesn't really matter what color it is. It's just whatever they have available. And it is not the flat wire. This is the round wire. Can y'all see? It's round. And I'm just going to straighten out a piece. About 18-20 inches. And you may have excess, and you just cut that off and save those pieces for making your little rings. So I've got this about where I want it, and you're going to need 3 pieces that length. So you take that clip and you just cut it. So that's 1. Two. And 3. I'm going to move this out of the way. This is going back in a cup. these are scraps that I had. Some are wonky triangle shapes. I've got some shorter pieces. And then I've got the 4-inch, the four square pieces that are longer. And then I've got some that are skinny, shorter pieces. So whatever you have left over of your scrap plastic canvas, you can use for your tail. We're going to start with one wire. I'm going to move the other two out of the way. I'm going to make a small loop. You don't need a big loop, but you need one big enough that the bead is not going to slide over. So I'm going to make a very small loop. And I'm going to get this twisted. I do it better with my hands, but some people need the pliers. And you're going to twist it and you're going to crimp it, because your bead is going to set on that loop, but you're going to fold that loop down when you're finished on the outer two pieces. So now I've got my loop done, and I did that wrong. Again, I feel so silly. We're going to put this on here. Now, if you had jumper rings, you could use those as well, but I'm just going to slip that on there, and we're going to make our loop with that. So as long as the bead won't go over that loop, it will be fine. So we're going to get that twisted on there again. I like to leave my bloopers in, y'all. So this is going to be the top of our spinner. Let's try this again. So we're going to get that crimped in there good and tight, because we want our beads to be able to go over that little bit of wrapped wire there. So that's what it looks like now. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to load at least 3 to 5 beads, depending on how many you want to put on here. You want to make sure that that wire is covered. So that covers it. And it will spin, as you can see. I can spin it. Now we're going to start loading our wings on here. You can start with whatever color that you're using. I chose the pink and the white. And you're going to fold this in half and find that center hole like that. And then just let it open up, putting a bead between each one. Now you can choose to alternate your beads or go with one color. And then you're going to alternate the colors of your pieces if you're using more than one color. And again, you're going to go through that center part and just continue up. Alright, I have 2 strips left over, and I don't have enough wire here to really add 3 beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull this white one off, white one and pink one off, to make that a little bit shorter and add my beads. So I'm going to put my 2 different color beads on here. I'm going to add my spinner. So I actually left 4 of them off. I'm going to add the spinner on there. We're going to get this loop made, and we're going to tuck that end into the beads. So I've got a loop there. And I'm going to maneuver this to get that end inside the bead. And then I'm going to be finished with that section of it. Now you could leave it like this and just let them spin naturally. That would be perfectly fine, or you can go ahead and do 2 more rows of wire on here. And I'm going to change my bead color out. Now it doesn't matter which end you start at, because you've got your loop here and your spinner at the bottom. That's your centermost piece. I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need any of this in here. I am going to need some blue pony beads. So depending on which end you want to start at, you're going to go 2 squares in, first square, second square. So right there is where you're going to start your wire at. You're going to go ahead and get your pony beads on here. You're going to make your little loop. And you're going to tuck that into your beads. That end. Oh, I got the wrong color on there. Look at there. Real easy fix. Take those beads off. Put your blue one on there. Your yellow, your blue. And now we're going to get it back in that same, it's 3 over 2 in. So right there. Now you're going to string a bead, and then you're going to do this all the way up till you get to the other end. String a bead, and then you're going to string it through the next section. So we're going to do that all the way up. And it may take you a little bit of time to get it, but you'll get there. So we're going to come back when we have both sides finished, and I'll show you how to tie off the last part, but it's similar to what you did at this end. So we'll be back when we get that done. And I was going to say one other thing. In order to keep your wire from getting all wonky, you want the majority of the wire to be behind the piece that you're working on. So you just want a short piece up here to work through, and then you add your bead. It makes the work so much quicker. So we're just going to do that for a moment, let you see what I'm talking about. And of course you move your wire as you build up all the way down this side. Alright, we're at the end of the second one. I'm going to get rid of the beads. I need 1 yellow bead. So I'm going to go ahead and string my beads on here. You don't have to use 3 on the sides. I just do. You can use 1. You're going to leave a little bit of give in your beads at the end. See that? So we're going to go ahead and twist this. Get it down inside those beads, that end. The reason you want to give it a little give is so that you can twist this. To give it its shape. So there you go. We're going to take it outside and we're going to check it out. I forgot the tail. So you can pick whatever shapes and colors you want. I'm going to open this little hook up on the end, and we're going to use the pink and white since this is pink and white. And you can put as many or as few of these on there as you want to. It just adds a little more aesthetic look to the finished item. And they spin. It's quite windy out here, y'all. This is hashtag HomesteadCraftsNRecipes, hosted by Heather at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms and Gail at Gail Southern Living. This is an open collaboration. Anybody can join in. I believe it ends on December the 31st. I'm not positive about that. I will put more details in the description box below the video and the playlist. Y'all make sure you check it out. Thank you, friends, for watching, and may you be fully blessed.